Howdy, everybody. It's your boys, Travis and Kain. We are down TJ today, but we are back with the TKT podcast. We are a day late with your favorite podcast on all podcast streaming platforms where you like to listen to podcasts, especially the TKT podcast, the Two Kill Time podcast. Okay? What's up, boys? Like, what are we doing? We're live here on TikTok tonight, or fucking Twitch, not TikTok. I don't know why the fuck I said that. But, Travis, how's your week, buddy? You're in shambles at the start of this podcast, buddy.
Dude, you gotta give me a second.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, my week was okay. It's been long. We have done pretty much nothing other than go to work, play video games, and make barbecue sauce. So
go to work, play games, make barbecue sauce. That sounds like a freaking hell of a time.
it's a lot. It's a lot. The video games is fun. The barbecue sauce is fun to make, but it takes a lot of time, and then work sucks.
How much time does it take?
It doesn't take long to make. It just there's a lot that goes into it. So we'll get into that in a minute here. How was your week?
Okay.
How was your week?
Well, my week was good, man. The past 2 days, bro, I had to take a little bit of time off of work just to focus on my. I want to say it's half and half of mental health and just the physical part of my body. I've just needed some extra rest.
Mm-hmm.
Like today, I went and I haven't been like sleeping good the past week. I mean, I've been lucky if I can get through an hour without waking up. And so today I ended up taking a nap, which was like 3 hours, and I felt blessed. I woke up and body felt a little bit better. Mind felt a little bit better.
Good.
But
Other than
that, yeah.
Well, I'm glad
Played some ball tonight.
Taking a little time to yourself and figuring shit out and working on you, man. That's step one. You got to work on yourself before you can work on anything else. You know.
Yeah, that, man. I mean, obviously you hate missing work because it's money missed, but it's no like joke or secret that mental and physical health is just as or more important than sometimes being available for work. You got to be able to. I don't like to say that I need to take a day or two off here and there, but
I mean, sometimes that's what it takes, buddy.
Yeah, found out some personal info recently that was just like messing with my whole vibe. So, I mean, I'll talk to you that outside of the podcast, but
Word. All right. Yeah, we don't have to talk about anything that we don't want to talk about, but we are an open podcast, as y'all know.
Yep.
We do live stream most of these episodes, so if you ever have something that you want to hear us talk about or something that you want to get off your chest, feel free to come to the podcast and chat at Wilder42K on twitch.tv. Shameless plug, but not to be a plug, just to let you know, like, we are open. And we do interact with chat throughout the stream. That way we can talk about things you guys want to talk about lately, because we've been coming into lot of these episodes recently without an agenda. We've just been talking because that's what this podcast was made to do, just to kill time. It was made to just come in here and chat with the boys and catch up on our weeks. And a lot of the times, leading into kind of one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight, is due to the grind, man. Like, you forget about your mental health. You forget about, like, catching up with the boys. Like, especially with me being halfway across the country and being the only one out here. And the only people I know are people that I work with out here, pretty much. It makes it a lot harder to find people to talk to, especially when your best friends change jobs or anything like that, because you only know them because you work with them. So with life changing every single day with everybody, people get caught up in the grind, and it's good to sit back and think about a lot of that shit.
Yeah, dude, actually, so TJ is on his way to work right now. Me and him played ball a little bit earlier, and he stopped by my house, and we chatted outside for probably a good couple hours. Just like with his schedule, my schedule, like, and your schedule, it's tough for all of us to have kind of a call outside of this. And
like, I haven't really heard from TJ since the last time we recorded until today when he said he wouldn't be in, because the last few times he hasn't even really messaged that he wasn't going to be in. We just knew he wasn't going to make it.
Right. And so we were able to catch up on some stuff, man. And it's actually tough because you know you want to be there for people, especially when they need you. And sometimes you get caught up with work and with my personal situation, just kind of on the grind of trying to clean up this spot and big plans that I'm trying to make happen. And uh, you just kind of forget to reach out and
Yeah.
kind of lose sight in what's really important.
And see, we've not necessarily talked about that a lot on this podcast, but like you said, reaching out, we talk about that all the time. I'm really bad at that. But I've
Yeah.
also made it known I am not the guy to have to talk to you every day to be like, hey, I love you. What are you doing?
Right.
Like, I don't need to have that conversation every day because I know that if you called, I'm gonna do what I can to be there. If you call, if you call, I'm gonna do whatever I can to be there. If I call, you're gonna do whatever you can to be there. Shit like that, or to help in any way that we can. And like you said, a lot of times we lose sight of that, and I don't want to use that as an excuse for like, oh, I don't reach out to whatever. But not to bring up the barbecue sauce thing a little too early, but that's made me reach out and talk to people a lot more just in conversation. Like my buddy Kyle from college, we were friends in college. I wouldn't say we were like super close, but he comes and chat all the time. We talk all the time. And even just before the barbecue sauce thing, like we probably talk 2 or 3 times a week now, just in conversation because of shit like that. And it's one of those things where I'm just really bad about reaching out to just normal people. So I'll call my sister once a week. I call my parents, try to get it once a week. And I'm not the one that needs to call, but you do notice shit like, oh, you haven't called me. And the common excuse is, well, you're always at work, you're always doing something, or you're streaming, I don't know when to call. And it's like, when have you called and I either didn't answer or didn't call you back when I could?
Right.
That's my thing is if someone
If
calls
I'm
me,
busy, I'm gonna get back to you.
yeah, like when my grandmother called me, I answered every single time on stream, like to the point where I would be like, hey, chat, family first, answering this. And it's a common thing in my chat that if I get a call from a family member that I'm going to answer it and they'll put family first, always, like shit like that. Granted, that doesn't happen a lot anymore since my grandmother passed away. I don't get a lot of calls from family anymore because she was pretty much the only one that would call me this late at night because of work and whatnot.
Right.
But like that's the difference. Like that's the little shit that matters. If I didn't hear from her, I was calling her and being like, "Hey, what the fuck? Why don't you fucking
Right.
call me?" You know?
Right.
And like it's just it's little shit like that, you know? Speaking of TJ, he just messaged the group chat. That's what he said.
Yeah, I did see that. I didn't check it though.
Sorry, fellas. Have a good pod. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
You're back next week. I don't care if you have to call out of work. Send. You're muted. Oh, are you on the phone? Gotcha. Understood. For sure. You know you're good. But no, like that's it. It's just one of those things, man. Like I'm bad at phone calls. We've talked about it 100 times. But
Yeah. Well, I think something else that goes into that, bro, is being on the grind and everything I said about you kind of lose sight of being there and you don't really think about it, and then one day you're kind of like, oh, I haven't like really talked to him in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or 3 weeks, and that alone, personally speaking, and I'm sure for like you and TJ and others close to us, like that makes us feel bad.
Yeah.
Like once we sit down and think about it like that, and yeah, I think.
And like Matt made a really good point. Like if you ever need a hand, like he's home most days by 4. And then Brian responded with, never get so busy with things that you forget to work on yourself. And like that's what this podcast is for, is so that us three could get together to talk. That way we had that conversation. Not
Like,
just
that's literally
like
the whole reason we started this.
like not just so that we could catch up, but so that we could talk about things that were important not to just us but to other people in real world topics that affect everybody's day-to-day life. So again, for me, like me and Anthony are really close. He's one of my best friends down here. We've known each other through work for the last 2 years, and he is like I consider him my best friend. Like I don't have anybody else around me that's me and him are closer than. You know what I mean? So like he just switched jobs, and it happened the last time he switched jobs too. Is like he doesn't become distant, but it's one of those things where we don't talk as often because we're not seeing each other. But like we are playing video games every night. We haven't been doing that. But he's also getting ready to have a kid. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's not because whatever's going on or he doesn't fucking like me or I don't fucking like him or we're like having a fucking squabble or whatever. That's not what it is. It's just like fucking life happens, bro.
Right.
Like I'm 1,100 miles away from you. When something bad happens to me, I don't think, let me call Travis to vent to him. I think, let me fucking call Haley because she's all I got down here. Like, she's it. I got nobody else. Like, yeah, I have Anthony and JP and my cousin Beth and Elvis, but, like, I've known Beth and Elvis my whole life, but only known them for fucking 3 years. I've only known Anthony and JP for 2 to 3 years. And, again, that's a situation where, like Brian said, don't lose working on yourself, and that's why I don't want to say that's why that I don't reach out to other people and why I talk to Haley, but that's why, because I know I can go to her, which obviously is how a relationship works most of the time, or a good one. I can go to her and say, I'm fucking having a bad day. This is why, and she's either going to tell me, hey, I can't fucking talk right now and fuck off, because she's at work too. Or, hey, I'll call you back in a minute. I'm sorry you're having a bad day, and we'll text about it. But shit fucking happens. That's why I'm a firm believer in, like, I don't have to call you and text you every day to say I love you. I don't have to call you and text you every day to be like, hey, are you fucking good, man? Like, are you good?
Yeah.
Because, like, fucking life happens. Life happens. It's not that I forgot about you. It's not that I forgot about my parents or anybody else like that. And that's not what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not advocating don't talk to your mom every day. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that's my life. I have so many things going on that I have to fucking keep the people around me here fucking tight and talk to them that way, because what are you going to do for me?
Right.
Hop on a plane the next morning, drive 15 hours? Like, yeah, I'm sure you fucking would, but, like, that's not going to help me. Like, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that I can't count on people back there, because that's not what I'm saying. Like, my best friends are in New York. It's that simple. Like, the people that I love the most outside of Haley are still in New York. It'll always be that way because of who's still there, unless they move here, you know? And it goes back to the whole grinding situation of, it's not that I'm too busy to forget to do that. It's not. Like, shit happens, life happens, where TJ's work schedule is not colliding. I'm so busy that I can't pick up the slack. You're so busy that you can't pick up the slack with shit. So I don't think about, oh, well, TJ can't do it Tuesday nights. I don't think about, we record the fucking podcast. I listen to the podcast the next day. I don't think about the fucking podcast for the rest of the week. Like, that's me being honest. And this is my fucking shit. Like, this was all of ours idea. Like, that is how I fucking operate, and we do this weekly. Giuliano said missed the pod last night, but glad y'all are still recording. I usually listen in the morning as I'm getting ready for work. Well, this will be out tomorrow, which is Thursday. We're recording this one day late on Wednesday. I apologize.
We sincerely apologize.
Yeah, shit happened. We all forgot, like I said. But I don't think about this the rest of the week. I don't. Like, I have so much other shit going on that I don't think of what to talk about. And tonight, it just so happens, me and Chat were talking about a bunch of shit before pod, and I was like, oh, we can fucking talk about that tonight. That's a great conversation, because it goes off of what we're talking about now with grinding and shit. And I think that's perfect.
Perfect.
So, I just want to end that little segment there. Is like, don't forget about yourself, and don't forget about the others around you. So, like, with you around other people closer to New York, it's much easier for you to forget about them.
Right.
Because you're like, oh, they're just 10 minutes down the road. Like, I think about my parents all the time. I message my mom and dad all the fucking time. Do I call them? No.
Right.
I don't. I don't call anybody.
Yeah.
I don't text my sisters enough. I don't call them enough. I don't barely ever hear from my grandma, grandparents, aunts, uncles, hardly ever. Cousins, anything. And that's not because, oh, I'm down here, but I guarantee you there's been multiple times where I've popped up on their Facebook pages and been like, oh, I forgot he's in Tennessee. Guarantee it, bro. Guarantee.
Yeah.
Maybe not, like, I'm not saying like my grandma or like whatever, but I guarantee you people forget that I'm down here. 100%.
Dude, sometimes I still do.
It's fucking crazy, man. I'm just halfway across the fucking country.
Yeah.
Matt says we're his favorite pod, which I hope everybody listening, I hope we're your favorite pod. So,
At least top 3.
yeah, like, I don't know.
I'll give you some other interest, but we're at least top 3.
Yeah, like, we got to be up there. But that kind of makes me segue into, like, the next topic of grinding is I want to talk more about the whole barbecue sauce thing. So we were talking of, hey, how long does it take to make? It doesn't take long to make. The problem is it takes a considerable amount of effort.
Right.
So it's
Like
not
the prep time.
Not even. It's I have to go to the store and buy fucking everything. Order fucking labels online. Come back, make it, bottle it, which making it is 35, 45 minutes, not too bad, depending on how much you're making. But then you have to let it cool for 2 hours before you bottle it. Like, it has to be completely cool before you jar it because it can bust the glass unless you temp the glass, which I don't have an extra pot to temp them.
Yeah.
So you have to let it completely cool, put it in the bottles or jars. Then you have to water pressure seal them, which is like put it in fucking hot water that much over the fucking thing, let it boil, like get to a simmer just before a boil,
Really?
which takes about 20 minutes or so, maybe 10.
Yep.
And you can only do 7 jars at a rip times fucking 50 jars. You know what I mean? Like, so it, and this isn't me bitching. This is just saying, because I really am enjoying doing this. I'm loving it. I really got a small business like aspect in mind right now about it. I'm trying to get everything going. We just fucking nailed the spicy recipe. Like it's fucking ready.
Nice.
Yeah. Made the new front labels because we're going to bigger jars. We're going to 10-ounce jars minimum instead of 8-ounce. We're going to a 16-ounce to have 2 different sizes. And the prices are dropping. The first batch was $13 a bottle. We're going to be going to like, don't quote me on this because we're not set on the price yet, but we're going to like a $7 10-ounce and like a $12 16-ounce. So you're getting twice as much for less.
Yeah.
And then the minimum is more for half the price. Like, granted, everybody will have to pay for their own shipping. It'll be built into the site, which I believe we're probably going to go with Etsy, which is another fucking thing because every other site shit is ridiculously expensive. Like, even the cheapest Shopify is like $30 a month, which isn't bad, but what you get out of it isn't worth doing because you can use Etsy and lose 20% of your profits. Which, I don't know if it's 20%. That's probably an overestimation. It's probably like 10%. 10% of your profits. But you don't have to make a site. They handle the shipping labels. Like, all you have to do is print it off, package it, and fucking send her on its way. And you run it. Like, you just handle it like a little business. So it's pretty easy. But it's if I'm going to make barbecue sauce, like, that's a day. Because if I don't already have everything, like, that's an hour trip to the store. Come back, an hour to make it, 2 hours to cool, which I can go and do whatever the fuck I want. An hour and a half to jar or can, whatever, and Haley helps me a lot with it. But it's still going to be an hour. And then to label each can or jar or whatever. And it's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's not hard work, and I love doing it. But the reason why I'm talking about it is because of everything we're getting ready to do. Like, this is going to be as legit of a business as possible without having like a Dubs LLC certificate and a fucking FDA approval to fucking sell it, which we've already fucking researched how close we can get to that line without having to go to the FDA and file for fucking tax exemption and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be legit as possible to get it to people in New York or get it to people down here as cheap, as good of a product as we fucking can, because it is that fucking good, dude.
It is
Like,
good, dude. I end up having it with I put it on my burgers the other day.
yeah,
I mean,
like
I've used quite a bit of it on other stuff, but
I've had
I
it on
really
chicken.
enjoyed
I've
it.
had it on a hot dog. I've had it on mac and cheese. My parents have made ribs with it. Other people that my parents are friends with have made ribs with it. Had chicken wings. Had my parents made cube steak with it fucking tonight. Like cheap ass fucking meat. And it just takes it to that fucking next level, man. Also, Hills in the chat. First time her and Riley are watching it live. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Love you guys
So,
for viewing this live with our pleasures. But we're borderline legit business before we've sold like an actual jar as a business. And our first order, no one tried it, was fucking 56 jars. $13 for 8-ounce jars. Never having had it. The reason why I did that is so that people would tell me an honest review. Like if it was asked, you paid $13 for it, let me know. Like tell me if it's fucking bad. Now we're coming out with legitimate fucking shit that's going to be cheaper. That tells me people bought the first fucking jar because they trust me to put out a good product. Not just, oh, it's fucking Kain, I'm going to buy it. Like, oh, it's Kain. Like, I'm sure it's going to be good. Like, it's not going to be fucking bad. And, like, it's fucking me, man. Like, I'm doing the work. Like, yes, Haley has helped me a lot. She has. I'm not taking anything away from that. But, like, I found the fucking, like, I created the recipe.
Yeah.
Figured out the perfect fucking shit. She helped taste test and everything. Helped me watch it simmer and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hill also said it's great with pork chops, but like it wasn't just like an overnight, hey, this is what we're fucking doing. We're not just doing this to do it. We have nutrition facts labels. We're coming out with bigger sizes. We have pricing. We figured out shipping. We've done everything we can. So that's where I'm at with all the other shit. I was talking about it before we hopped on the pod with chat, before I hopped in this cord, was I've taken such a step back from the podcast and everything else to focus on this shit because everyone is telling me, bro, like you're onto something. This could be good. This is the legitimate start of like a business proposition.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. And so
So.
I just think it's that fucking good, man. I really do. I'm as much of an ego as I have. I don't toot my horn a lot. And this fucking, it is so good on everything. I said it to my dad when he made ribs the first time with it, and he was like, I'm no grill master. I was like, Dubs makes anybody a grill master or feel like a grill master because like it's that fucking good, man. It's honestly so basic.
Well, there's obviously no like disrespect in this comment, but it definitely exceeded my expectation.
Yeah, because like it's barbecue sauce. You're like, oh, it's just fucking barbecue sauce. And it's $13. You're like, oh. But like you try it and you're like, oh, like okay, like oh shit. And
dude, it turns into like, oh, it's 13 for that size, but then it's like, I see why it's 13 for this.
Which again, it's gonna get cheaper. So like, I kind of built it into the experience too. Like, you're getting batch one, bottle, whatever. Like, it makes you feel like you're getting a fucking product that's worth something. So, and it's glass. Like, you get to keep the mason jar forever, which is $1 fucking 20 itself. You know what I mean? So
you're getting your money's worth.
And the spicy, dude, I mean, I did something with the original, bro, but this spicy, it's good, bro. It's good. Like, so it's literally the bait.
When is it coming out?
As soon as I can get the site up, as soon as I decide, like, hey, we're going with this site, these are the prices, get everything loaded, and get some fucking jars here so I can make it, then, like, it'll drop as soon as the site drops. 10 and 16-ounce bottles with original and spicy. We're going to do a variety pack, so it'll come with one of each 10-ounce.
Is there going to be a bundle?
Yeah, there'll be a little 10-ounce bundle, which will probably be, I don't fucking know, maybe like $15, $20. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I guess it would $15 would be normal. I just feel like it's fucking.
all the time.
That's two of them. If it's $7, you know what I mean. It would make sense if it was 15.
Right.
But it's so again, it's the base sauce with just more spices to make it spicier, things like that. So it's not super spicy. Like if you were just to go like, not that spicy. It does have spice. Like you're like, oh okay, but if you like eat a spoonful of it, you're like, okay, like okay.
Like, oh,
So I was eating a lot of it, like taste testing. So like I had a decent amount, and like even on just a finger, it lingers for a little bit. The spice, not too hot. It's not overwhelming by any means. I promise. So if you don't like spice, yeah, it might be a little bit too spicy for you, but it's not gonna kill you. It does linger for a little bit.
I love spice. So
But like I had a 10-piece McNugget, and I brought the sauce to work to try it like just quickly. I ate the whole 10-piece, and I was fucking like I was sopping these nuggets in this.
right.
So I had a decent amount, but I was like, I don't need any more. Like Haley made, what did she make tonight? Oh, she made chicken tacos. I haven't eaten them yet. She was like, "Do you want your barbecue sauce with it?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You want the spicy?" And I was like, "No." Like I had way too much of it today for lunch because it's really not that bad. It's just you have a lot of it and you're like, this is too much now. I've had too much spice for the day. But it's good, bro. It's really good. It's a lot. I don't want to say a lot thicker, but it is thicker because of how much spice you had to put in it. Like the amount of ingredients that go into it.
Right.
But it's fucking delicious.
My spice level, like,
Mine's very high,
level?
so
yeah. So I like real spicy food, and I actually like it to the point to where almost I can't handle it.
yeah. So
But
that's how I
still
am.
can.
Yeah, like it wasn't that it was too much that I couldn't handle because it's not. Again, it's
Yeah.
not that hot. Just like you have like a certain increment of it where you're just like, I don't
All right, I
want,
can take a
I don't
break.
want, I don't want more. No, that's enough spices. Like it tastes so good. It's spicy, but it doesn't ruin the flavor. So one of the things in Nashville is Nashville hot chicken. You guys got like Dave's hot chicken. Like there's a place down here called Hattie B's where they do like Southern, which is no spice, mild, medium, hot, something above hot, and then Mother Cluckin', like Mother Cluck, it's so hot or some shit like that. And like I've had hot and I was like, this doesn't even taste good. Like it's so much heat, spice that I don't want that. Like I don't want to eat that. It doesn't taste good. So I don't even want to know what the Mother Cluckin' is, dude.
My favorite, dude, is like a mango habanero. Oh my gosh.
I love like habanero salsa too. That just slaps. Miss Renfro's at Walmart. Big shout out to Miss R coming in clutch. Love it. Yeah, man. The barbecue sauce is gonna take off, bro. I got a feeling. It's gonna blow
Good,
up.
bro. How do you, dog?
It's gonna blow up. They don't sell it around you anymore, man. That's fucking wild. Miss Renfro's goated. That shit slaps harder than a stepfather after a Saturday night of drinking.
That's crazy.
That was fucking OD. But the other thing I wanted to talk about too, about like grinding again, like we're putting this podcast. I don't want to say we're putting it on the back burner because we're not, but like it is the least of my thoughts throughout the week come into this podcast, which is really shitty because I want to give you guys the best podcast that we can and talk about the best things. And one of the things that kind of got brushed to the side a lot when I was first starting to do it, not the podcast, but first starting to do this activity was I tried to start a gaming org, a small org, twice. Tried to start it once in New York and then once down here. Legitimate like contracts with the people that were going to be in it. Certain things like, oh, you have to have this in your name. You have to do this. Like basically like a clan, like FaZe when it first started. But with legitimate contracts, people were going to get paid, shit like that. And I didn't have anything going on other than work. It was like one of the first things that I was going to start doing to grow not just my brand, but other brands and like their streaming brand and the overall like company.
Yep.
and no one wanted to put in the effort but me. So like the reason why I want to bring this up is we were talking about it on the podcast prior is, and it's nothing against any of the people that were in it, like, because when you start a gaming org, like generally you're going to have younger people, like people that don't have the same vision or just different mindsets, shit like that. And my thing was like, hey, this is all you have to do right here, and you'll get this much. It's not a lot, but it's fucking it's money for doing basic fucking shit. And like you help me, I help you, he helps him, like she helps her, she helps him, he helps her, like shit like that. Just had to be fucking inclusive there. Didn't want to upset anybody. Like, and no one wanted to put in the effort but me. So like it's out of my pocket. You don't want to do anything, so it fell to the wayside. Came to Nashville, tried it again, spent my own money to get logos made. So like a lot of people don't know, but the logo that was on my shirts that was like this one right here, that's just the 42K logo. And the 42K logo that's always above my head on stream, and the one that says 42K Gaming was all made for these orgs. This was money out of my own pocket. No one paid for that but me. And no, was it expensive? No, it was $100. But at the time, like $100 was $100 to me. Like I was putting in effort and my money and then money to pay you, and it never got off the ground because I was the only one that was serious about it. And like Jake, Haley's cousin, he was really serious about it too. He was like, I'm going to start streaming. I'm going to do this. He invested in this and this and this for his own setup to do these certain things to make it that much better. And it got to the point where me and him like sat down and had a talk where we were like, it's not worth it doing it because the other 5-6 people that we want to do this with, and it wasn't just people that me and you, like that I didn't trust to do it with. It's people that I thought would work, and like they were willing to do the bare minimum, but not go over the, like this threshold of what we actually wanted them to do. So like, yes, they were willing to stream, but they weren't willing to do this, or this. And like a couple of them were Jake's friends, and like they shit talked me for how I was trying to do it. And I was like, guys, we're in a Discord chat every week for the last 3 weeks where no one's came up with ideas but me and Jake. You guys have just sat and said nothing. The reason why we were in these Discord chats was to get fucking free-flowing mind ideas and talk about things, much like this fucking podcast, and just talk about shit for this org of what we think would work, what we don't think is going to work, what are other people doing, how can we grow it. And like that, it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal, like whatever. But me and Brian were talking about it. Like, would I love to join a gaming org and get paid to do this type of shit? Would love to. It would give me so much more time to focus on my barbecue sauce. And like other hobbies and shit that I want to fucking do, so I could do this for 8 hours a day, enjoy my fucking day, not hate my fucking self for what I'm fucking doing with my life and shit like that. And he said the same thing. We started talking about FaZe in the Phase 1 competition and how it was like, there's rumors coming out about how shit was handled. We're not going to get into that. But I started telling him the same shit I'm telling you and the rest of the fucking chat and viewers and listeners right now is I tried to make a gaming org. Like, I wanted to join FaZe. My dream org is 100 Thieves. I love 100 Thieves. I love what they stand for. I love what fucking Nadeshot has done it with the company, making it so that there's other avenues of revenue that can support the fucking gaming. Like, so fucking smart. Yeah. The way he's came at it and the funds that have came from other people, like the fucking Cavs owner and shit, like that support that organization, it just doesn't seem like they're heading in the wrong direction by any means. So I love 100 Thieves. Shout out LA Thieves. They're winning champs this year in the next fucking month. They're going to win the COD champs, okay? I'm just fucking saying that right now. It's manifesting it. But I want to do that. I wanted to start an org, and it never got off the ground because of certain shit. There were people that wanted to do shit and people that didn't. People that I barely know and people that I really know didn't want to do shit or did want to do shit. Mm-hmm. But I just, again, the reason why I'm talking about this is because this podcast, like, I couldn't take the time to do everything for everyone and still be able to do the other shit that I was already invested in, already was doing. And maybe that's just fucking my fault. Maybe I got my hand in too many fucking hats. I don't know. But I'm sure you can say the same shit. Like, again, with this podcast, you have other shit going on that we're not getting into this podcast as much as we should, which, again, we apologize for. We want this podcast to be the best that it can be and provide you guys great content every fucking week.
Absolutely.
Same thing with my stream and all that shit. Like, I started streaming because I love to do it. I didn't do it to fucking make money. Do I make some money? Yes. It's not a fucking lot. It's not by any means enough to cover any of my bills. But it's fucking fun. I love to do it. And when I was live every day for 3 fucking years, there were so many days that I didn't want to fucking stream that you could see it on my face. You could see it in my content. I uploaded at least 3 times a week on YouTube last year. This year I've uploaded like once a week, if I upload that week at all, because of how drowned out I got on content. I still stream most nights. I love streaming. I adore it. I love talking with you on this podcast every night. And I don't want to lose that. Like, this is something I truly love and enjoy.
Yeah, me
so
too.
That gaming org is do I want to start one? Yeah. Do I want to join one? Yeah. I don't put out enough content. I'm not growing steadily. I've maintained this fucking plateau on Twitch for the longest fucking time. Yes, last year I jumped 300 followers. YouTube has jumped up 400 fucking followers in the last 6 months. Like, there was a lot of things that go into that segment, and I have to grow my brand before I grow anybody else's. And I realized that the second time I tried to start a gaming org was, if you're not willing to focus on yourself, I don't have the platform to just grow you. So I need to do it myself before I can help you. And that's what I'm doing, man. Like, that's part of the fucking grind. Like Brian said, you have to focus on yourself before you focus on anybody else. Don't get so busy with life that you can't focus on yourself. And that's what I was doing. And now I'm focusing on myself. I got my content better on YouTube. Yes, I'm slacking off again. I've gotten my content better on Twitch, taking time off. My streams are more fun. Fucking chat's way more active the last fucking month since I stopped streaming every day for fucking 3 years. I have time to fucking make a side business, oddly enough, with barbecue sauce, which is by far the weirdest fucking side hustle I've ever heard anybody having, of just randomly fucking actually trying to sell it. Yeah, I've tried to make it at home for a few years, but that's what I mean, bro. Like, that's what the grind's about. Like, that's where people get lost. I want to make that dollar. I want to make money. You want to make money. Outside of that, we have to focus on other things.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Tough to not put all your eggs in one basket, but
yeah,
I think like Kobe said, or maybe it wasn't Kobe, but maybe Kobe like reset it. It was like, if you put too many eggs in one basket, just go buy more eggs. It's kind of like a don't quit thing.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was in that like meme thing with Kanye or whatever it was, that commercial.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
I mean, he's right, bro. Like, the only thing anyone is short on is time. Anybody can make money.
Absolutely.
Anybody can make friends. It's the people that you love, that actually care about you, that you're going to lose. Because the time you fucking have is limited. It does not matter. And this isn't like, woe is me, trying to fucking make you feel weird or be inspirational. It's just a general conversation that we're having right now, because I have so many things that I want to fucking do. And I've had so many ideas that have never gotten off the ground that now this one is. I'm like, damn, I'm really about to fucking do it. Like, this is about to be the thing that finally fucking clicks. You know?
Like, this is it.
And I want to do this so much. I want to do the barbecue sauce. I want to fucking make Dubs successful. I want to make this podcast successful. I want to make content successful. I want to start a gaming org. You know what I mean? Like, there's shit that I want to do plus more than I'm doing right now.
For sure.
But I don't let it take over my life anymore. The streaming every day for 3 years was a lot. There's shit I missed. There's shit I didn't miss. There's shit that I wanted to do that I couldn't do because I knew I had to stream. If I don't want to make a fucking YouTube video, I don't make one. If I don't want to fucking stream that night, I don't stream that night. And
Right.
yeah, it was awesome. I'm really happy I did it. I'm happy that I fucking am able to say that I did that because I don't know another fucking streamer that has ever done that. 3 fucking straight years, plus uploaded over 100 YouTube videos, plus made TikToks, plus started a podcast. Like
Yeah, that's crazy.
while working fucking 50-hour weeks, like a full-time job and making no money off the shit that I was doing. Zero.
Yeah.
Yep, couple bucks off of Twitch, but like let's be real. In the perspective of time that I put in, cents per hour.
Yeah.
Like hay pennies per hour, you know what I mean? And this isn't I'm not trying to brag about any of that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to put in perspective. Don't fucking lose yourself because you don't have that much time. You don't. You don't have that much time.
And like you can burn yourself out without not even knowing it.
Mm-hmm. With anything.
Yeah.
Easily.
Too much of anything is bad.
Exactly. I agree, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Buddy, do you have anything else you want to talk about tonight? Because I think we had like a nice little vent session for everybody tonight.
Yeah, this is pretty good. No, I don't. One thing to end off the grind as well is I've been on my own weight loss journey along with you and Haley, and I'm very proud to say that January 4th I was 287, and I stepped on the scale the other day and I was 262.
Attaboy. Down what? That's 25 pounds if I'm doing my math
Yep.
correctly.
Yep.
Good shit, buddy. Good for you.
Yes, sir.
Last time I checked, I was down about 18 pounds, but I haven't checked in a while, so I'm sure that's not going as well as I would like it to. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you enjoyed the conversations that we had tonight and took some lessons of it. But much love, everybody. We'll catch y'all next week on the TKT podcast, and we will see y'all in the next one.
Later, guys.